Hi guys, this is Siddharth and today we will be looking at middlewares and also a Postman. We'll be seeing how to send a request to your backend, how to test your API routes, etc. Because as I said, when you are building a project, you first build your backend and then you build your front end. So if you have to test your API routes, you basically need a client. So Postman will do that for you. Okay, so we'll get to this in a bit. So, in the last video, I actually missed this part of code, app.listen. So, let me quickly explain this. So, as I said that this app listens to requests on a port. So, you have to do this app.listen and specify whatever number you want. Generally, it's 3000, 5000, something like that. And this app will start listening on your local host, right? So, let me start the server again. Second. Yes, if we type node index.js, as you can see, our server is running on port 3000. Cool. Okay. So now in the last video, I was telling you guys about Express and how we used this and stuff. So yeah, sorry, middlewares. I was telling you about middlewares and what this does exactly. So let us remove this line of code. So let us go to Postman. So think of Postman as your front end for now, okay? Once you create an account, you have to come up here and click this plus icon. I'm sorry, plus here. And then you can basically send a new request to your backend. So here you have multiple methods of requests. For now, let's add a to-do. So because our add to-do is a post method, we have to select the post method here. And now because our server is running on our localhost 3000, uh, we have to send a request to localhost 3000. This is supposed to be add to dos. Okay, cool. And as I said, the route which you see here has to be the same as the route which is here. Only then the request will come to this endpoint. Okay. And now go to body, click on raw. And by default, this will actually be selected to text. Go ahead here and set it to JSON. And here, send your request body. So our request body looks something like this. Title, let's say go to the gym. Occurrence, as I said, maybe 6 days a week. 6 days a week. Cool. So this is our request object. So now let us try to send a request to our backend. We are expecting an error here. I'll tell you guys what the error is. So let us make sure our server is running. Yeah, it is. Send request. To do added successfully. Okay. 1 second. Cool. Send. Yes, we have an error now. Why do we have this error? So if we try to debug the error, it says cannot destructure property task of request.body as it is undefined. So Express by default cannot parse JSON in the request body. So as you can see, this is an object. So Express by default cannot parse JSON. So it is not able to parse or it is not able to deconstruct the task object out of our request. So if you have to make your server parse JSON, you have to use a middleware called express.json, or you can also use body parser, but this is a built-in middleware which Express provides. So this basically allows your server to parse JSON. So now if you actually do this, if you are actually trying to restructure task, it will actually work and it will give you this object here. Cool. Let us try to run our server again. And whenever you make a change in your server, you have to restart it. So let's restart our server. Now let us try to send a request. What do we get? We get to do added successfully. And also there is no error here on our backend. Because now our Express can successfully parse JSON in the request body. Now this was the post request. Now let us go to the get request and let us get our to-dos. So get to-dos. Okay, so this is our get to-dos route. It will basically return the user all of their to-dos, and obviously because we are using a .get, we have to set it to .get here. And this body doesn't need to have something, it can be empty. As I said, get routes have empty body in the request. So now if we send this, as you can see, we got a list, an array of to-dos, because we had an array here. So we got an array of to-dos, and right now this is the only to-do because this is the one we added. And yeah, now let us get to the update to-do. Okay, in the update to-do, what did we say? The user has to send an ID in the request body, and also they have to send the new details of the to-do. Okay, now let us go to put and update to-do, and now we have to send this new key, which is basically the ID of the to-do. Correct. Now, as you can see, we have one to-do in our database whose ID is 1. So now if I send this request, this will basically modify the to-do in our database with the ID 1. So let's say I have to go to the gym 4 days a week now. Okay. So now I send this request, to-do updated. And now if we get our to-dos again, get and send the request, as you can see, our to-do got updated, and now we have to go to the gym 4 days a week. So this is how the update method works. And now let us get to the delete method. So delete to-dos, and now if you look at our delete endpoint, which is up, which is here, as you can see, we want an ID from the user. Okay, so we have to send our backend an ID so that our backend can find the required to-do, corresponding to-do, and it can delete that particular to-do. Okay, so now if we send this request, we have an error. 1 second. Delete to-dos, cannot delete / delete to-dos. Okay, it is delete to-do, my bad. Okay, so as I said, it has to match this API out here, and here we did delete to-dos. It was supposed to be to-do. Cool. Now let us send a request, and to-do deleted successfully. Now if you get all your to-dos, get to-dos, get request, as you can see, we are getting an empty array because we deleted that to-do. So yeah, guys, this was about middlewares and Postman. I hope you guys understood, and also as you can see, we came across a bunch of errors. But yeah, whenever you get an error, try not to lose your calm. Try to debug the error. Try to see what it says, and do stuff which the error asks you to. So in our case, at first we forgot to use the body parser middleware, and then now we send a request to the wrong route. So yeah, don't stress things, debug the errors, and you'll do good. And I hope you understood this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one with React Part 2. Thank you.